and boy, did you ever have some thoughts. Some of you praised me like I was the patron saint of parody, and others, well, let's just say you bit harder than Dracula on a Red Cross volunteer. But one thing was clear, you had opinions about what movies I missed. So here we are with part 2. This is a viewer-powered parade of parody greatness. And yes, before you fire up the comment section with more righteous indignation, I know this still won't include everyone's favorites. Some of these are genre mashups, some are mockumentaries, and some just straight up break the fourth wall and moon the audience. So here's what we covered so far in part 1's Hall of Fame. All right, let's get into 13 more movies you insisted belonged on this mountain. Let's ride. You know, Scary Movie didn't just spoof horror. It dismembered it, then stitched it back together with some glue sticks and glitter.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
And left it screaming in a haunted funhouse. The first in what became a wildly uneven franchise, this 2000 original was just a cultural touchstone.
That left one teen dead. That's it. 2 teens dead.
It turned Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer into gag machines that made room for every bodily function joke in the book. Carmen Electra gets chased and stabbed, and she still stops to fix her makeup. Marlon Wayans gets high with a killer.
Yo.
What's up?
And Shannon Elizabeth's head gets twisted around like a rotisserie chicken.
Look at me. I'm all dead. I'm a gross, scary, severed head. Come on, please. Do you know who I am?
It's over the top and lowbrow and completely shameless, but all in the best way. It's a parody with a party hat and some fart noises. The genius of Scary Movie is how well it captures the structure of the films it spoofs. It's not just a collage of references. It's a functional slasher with jokes built into like every frame. I mean, it gave us iconic catchphrases, it broke the fourth wall like it owed it money, and it made horror fans laugh at the very tropes that they secretly love.
I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this?
I mean, this one may not be high art, but it knew exactly what it was doing, and it did it with a chainsaw made of punchlines.
I wouldn't give to be 20 years younger and a woman. You know, I've personally flown over 194 missions, and I was shot down in every one. Come to think of it, I've never landed a plane in my life.
All right, from the guys who co-piloted Airplane, Hot Shots, Takes to the Skies, and dive bombs every 80s and 90s action movie trope in sight. Charlie Sheen stars as Topper Harley. It's a parody of Top Gun's Maverick.
Those are some long legs.
I just had them lengthened. Now they go all the way up.
Well, if Maverick had been dropped on his head and raised by a rubber goose. The film is loaded with rapid-fire gags, visual jokes, and just references so layered you could teach a film class just how to untangle the puns.
Huh?
What makes Hot Shots stand out isn't just the spoof on Top Gun. It's how it casually throws like shade on Dances with Wolves, 9.5 Weeks, even Superman. It mocks toxic masculinity before that was even trending. And the jokes, they still land with precision. Lloyd Bridges as Admiral Benson.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Phil. Not a fucking clue.
I mean, he steals like every scene with lines that sound like they were written during a weekend at a Fish concert.
Oh, good God, I gotta pee. I had the better part of my bladder blown off at Guadalcanal.
It's a perfect blend of Zucker-style absurdity and military satire. Spoof cinema done right, with extra sweet saxophone solos and a cholesterol-laden sex scene that involves frying bacon on some abs.
You haven't seen the last of us!
The Last of Us.
Mel Brooks, man, he is just the parody king. So he took a swing at swashbuckling legends and delivered one of the goofiest bow and arrow comedies ever forged.
There must be another way of doing the credits. That's right. Every time they make a Robin Hood movie, they burn our village down.
Men in Tights fires off a satirical volley at Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, but it's also like greatest hits of Brookisms. It breaks the fourth wall, there's musical numbers,
The show, raising the taxes because they needed the dough.
and characters who are just so self-aware, they practically narrate their own bloopers. Carrie Ellis makes a dashing yet smarmy Robin, tossing off lines like,
Achoo! Bless you!
and the film boasts a young Dave Chappelle and a villain named Sheriff of Rottingham.
Miss Marion, you know we're a good sheriff of Rottingham.
From fat jokes to fencing, Men in Tights is a campy, catchy, and just packed with punchlines that just still kill.
Consider this foreplay.
And if the campfire song, The Night is Young and You're So Beautiful, doesn't make you laugh, you might need to check your pulse. Brooks took the classic tale and roasted it over a medieval fire, serving it with a side of satire and a very enthusiastic jester.
Kill him!
Archery's never been this dumb, and that's why it rules the list.
We split Robin's arrow in twain!
So before Hot Shots and a little bit after Airplane, the ZAZ team, they unleashed Top Secret, a delirious blend of spy movie spoof and Elvis musical send-up that just never met a pun it couldn't weaponize. Val Kilmer, in his debut, he sings, he dances, and deadpans his way through Cold War cliches while surrounded by ballet fighting Nazis, underwater bar brawls, and surrealist nonsense that would just make Salvador Dali blush. What sets this one apart is how far it's willing to go just for a gag. Visual jokes are so meticulously crafted, they kind of feel like magic tricks. Like a scene where they are dressed like a cow wearing boots to sneak into a military base, or a dramatic moment revealed by the inside of a giant phone booth. The plot, it doesn't matter. It's the absurdity that's the point. The film's secret weapon, it's Val Kilmer. He plays it completely straight while chaos just erupts around him. Top Secret is the weird cousin of the Parody family. A little too strange for mainstream, but perfect for those who like their comedy surreal, fast, and full of synchronized swimming. Walk Hard is the parody that saw the movie Ray and Walk the Line and said, let's just burn the whole musical biopic genre to the ground. John C. Reilly, he gives the performance of his career as Dewey Cox. He's basically a Johnny Cash style crooner who battles like every rise, fall, rise again cliche you've ever seen. And usually does it with no pants on. From cutting his brother in half with a machete to becoming addicted to just like every drug in alphabetical order.
Oh my.
Dewey's journey, it's hilarious, ridiculous, and just it's weirdly heartfelt too.
Just wonderful. So.
When you coming home, Dewey?
Soon, baby, real soon.
The film mocks, genre tropes with just precision. The tortured genius monologues, the dramatic overdoses.
We doing pills, uppers and downers. They're the logical next step for you.
I want some of that shit.
The Beatles cameos, it's all here, skewered with a pitch-perfect soundtrack of fake hits that slap way, way harder than they should.
I done a bad thing. Cut my brother in half.
Despite bombing at the box office, Walk Hard became a cult classic thanks to its brilliant writing and Riley's just like total commitment to the role. It's the kind of parody that works because it loves the genre it's mocking. It just loves laughing at it a little bit more.
Excuse me.
What?
When's your birthday?
22nd of February.
What year?
Every year. Get out.
When's your birthday?
You know Hot Fuzz, it's not just a parody. It's a full-on genre blender that mixes buddy cop movies with small-town horror and mystery, which is perfect for my channel. And then it stirs in a double shot of British sarcasm. Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg craft a story about an overachieving London cop sent to this sleepy village, which turns out to be anything but that. The brilliance, it's in the details.
Hag.
I beg your pardon.
Every setup pays off.
Hag.
Every character has a secret, and every moment is laced with love for the genre it spoofs. You know, like from Bad Boys to Wicker Man. It's satire that manages to be just a great example of the thing it's mocking. And when the action kicks in, it goes full throttle with gunfights and pensioners wielding antique weapons.
Jesus Christ!
It's slick, smart, and hilarious, and it proved parody could be stylish and clever without losing its punch.
Top number and make that a little louder.
These go to 11.
Rob Reiner's This Is Spinal Tap mockumentary. It follows a fictional British heavy metal band, Spinal Tap, as their US tour disintegrates into just chaos, ego clashes, and spontaneously combusting drummers.
Just like that. It just went up.
You know what makes it legendary is how close it skirts to reality. So much so that some viewers thought it was actually real. With the core trio, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, improvising most of the dialogue. The film has this like lived-in authenticity that just makes the absurdities hit so much harder. Whether it's getting lost backstage, arguing about sandwich catering, or, you know, showcasing props like a Stonehenge monument in danger of being crushed by a dwarf. Every moment is as painfully awkward as it is hilarious. The songs are actually fully produced and they're just shockingly catchy, adding another layer of commitment to the bit. And let's not forget the cultural legacy here. You know, bands like Metallica and Aerosmith, they've openly admitted that the film hit just a little too close to home, if you know what I mean. Spinal Tap goes just beyond parody. It's satire sharpened to a razor's edge and disguised in some leather pants. If your parody list doesn't go to 11, it's not loud enough.
Candle, will you?
Put the candle back.
This isn't just a parody. This is a gothic sonnet written in lightning bolts and hilariously mispronounced German. Mel Brooks teamed up with Gene Wilder to craft Young Frankenstein, which is a loving, laugh-out-loud homage to the Universal horror classics. And it doesn't just spoof one of those movies. It reverently roasts an entire era of cinematic monster mayhem.
I ain't got no body.
This was shot in just beautiful and glorious black and white, and even using the original 1931 Frankenstein's lab sets. The film just immerses itself into the ambiance of classic horror, while gleefully undermining it with slapstick,
Werewolf?
There. What? There, wolf.
puns, and some of the best comedic timing ever captured on film. Gene Wilder as Dr. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
You're putting me on.
Rides a perfect line between wild-eyed mania and deadpan brilliance. Marty Feldmore's Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
He's just a pure comedic gremlin. And Madeline Kahn's unforgettable scream soprano performance, it rounds out the tightest comedic cast in film history.
Oh my God. Woof.
It's full of unforgettable scenes, from the blind hermit encounter with Gene Hackman to the Monsters Broadway debut with Puttin' on the Ritz. But what makes it great, it isn't just the jokes. It's the affection. Brooks loves the source material, and it shows in like every foggy forest and flickering torch. I mean, this is parody with a brain, an abnormal brain, but brilliant all the same.
Rex Kramer, part-time airline mechanic, full-time daredevil. A man willing to risk his life for the sake of adventure.
Hey, what the fuck?
The popcorn you're eating has been pissed in. Film at 11.
The Kentucky Fried Movie, it's the blueprint for the modern sketch parody film. A glorious VHS mixtape of genre send-ups, commercial spoofs, and just pure, like unfiltered cinematic madness.
I've been listening to that horse shit of yours for months. And you can take that crap and blow it out your ass. And for good measure, sit on this, John.
This was written by the ZAZ team before they redefined the genre with Airplane. This one is pure chaotic energy from frame one.
Whoa!
It doesn't follow a plot. It barely follows any rules. It just exists to make you laugh as often and as cheaply as possible. The film is structured like a late-night TV marathon just gone rogue, flipping channels between kung fu epics.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration.
Fake public service announcements.
Although so far there's no known treatment for death's crippling effects, still everyone can acquaint himself with the 3 early warning signs of death. 1, rigor mortis. 2, a rotting smell.
And some softcore sexploitation trailers.
Show me your nuts. Oh, how you doing? Learn from USA.
Some of it hits like a gut punch. Some of it misses like a pie in the face.
Coetz presents Linda Chambers recreating her classic role.
But when it lands hard.
Moscow in flames, missiles headed toward New York. Film at 11.
The 30-minute parody of Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, which is called A Fistful of Yen, is still one of the greatest martial arts parodies ever made, and there's no place like home. This is not a film for structure snobs or narrative purists, but if you like your comedy fast, raw, and willing to trip over itself and hit you with the next punchline, this is a must. The Kentucky Fried Movie didn't just parody movies. It parodied the whole experience of watching them on Saturday night in the 1970s with greasy hands and low expectations. And somehow, it's pretty perfect.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Have you seen the karaoke?
Okay, give us a hand here.
All right, sir.
Work. Hello, boys. Have a good night's rest. I missed you.
Just one more bill for you to sign, sir.
What the hell is this?
Man, Mel Brooks is just killing it tonight. All right, so Mel Brooks didn't just make fun of Westerns with Blazing Saddles. He threw a cow pie in their face and then asked them, how did it feel? It follows Black Sheriff Bart, Cleveland Little, who rides into a racist frontier town to clean it up with charm, wit, and zero patience for bigotry. And the supporting cast, Gene Wilder as the Waco Kid, Madeline Kahn as Marlene, it elevates it to comedic greatness. Brooks even plays multiple characters, which, he often does. And the plot eventually breaks out of the film entirely, like spilling into other movies and onto a studio lot. Blazing Saddles is way more than a parody. It's comedic rebellion. And yeah, it couldn't be made today, but I'm so glad it was.
See? That was nothing. But that's how it always begins. Very small.
This is just one of my all-time favorite movies. Ever. Alright, so on paper, Big Trouble in Little China, it's an 80s action flick. But in reality, it's one of the weirdest and most wonderful genre-bending parodies just ever committed to film. John Carpenter delivers a kung fu fantasy, supernatural adventure, and comedic deconstruction of the action hero, all just wrapped in a neon China madness. And it's just all in the reflexes, man. Kurt Russell's Jack Burton, he's the key to the whole movie. He thinks he's the star, the alpha one-man army, but he's actually just the comic relief sidekick in someone else's story. And that's the whole joke of the movie. He blunders through fight scenes, he misinterprets ancient prophecies, and still manages to save the day. Kind of, I guess. The villains are just wild, the mythology is so dense, and the effects are just gloriously practical. It's a love letter to kung fu cinema, complete with sorcerers, some magic storms, and a sewer monster for no other reason than why not.
Come out no more. What? Huh? What'll come out no more?
It flopped on release, which blows my mind, but became a cult classic because it just dares to be bizarre. It mocks genre conventions by embracing them and then tripping over them in John Wayne boots. Big Trouble doesn't just wink at the audience, it does backflips and lands them in a fog machine.
We are three wise men.
What?
We are three wise men.
Well, what are you doing creeping around the cowshed at 2 o'clock in the morning? That doesn't sound very...
So if Monty Python and the Holy Grail was irreverent, Life of Brian is just straight up blasphemous brilliance. And we mean that as the highest compliment, by the way. This film parodies just the nature of belief and blind faith.
Is this some kind of joke?
We wish to praise the infant. We must pay homage to him.
Homage? You're all drunk. It's disgusting.
And institutional absurdities because following a man named Brian who happens to be born next door to Jesus and then spends the rest of his life being mistaken for the Messiah. I don't know. It's awesome. Every scene is just packed with iconic moments. You have the speech impediment riddled Romans.
Anybody else feel like a little giggle when I mention my friend Dickus?
The People's Front for Judea.
People's Front of Judea. Officials.
Which is not to be confused with Judean People's Front, of course.
Surely we should be united against the common enemy. The Judean People's Front? No, the Romans!
And you got the infamous crucifixion sing-along that somehow turns death into an amazing musical finale. It's bold, it's fearless, and biting in a way few comedies really dare to be. But beneath the absurdity, there actually lies some sharp social commentary. The film satires how mobs follow slogans instead of ideas, how bureaucracy warps meaning, and how people sometimes desperately seek messiahs in all the wrong places. It's as relevant now as this was back in 1979. And while it sparked outrage upon release, time has revealed its genius. Parody at its finest. It doesn't just mock, it reveals. Life of Brian peels back the curtain and dares you to laugh at the sacred, reminding us that even our most serious systems, they can be hilariously flawed.
Will I say the name? Dickus.
All right, well, there it is. That's the viewer's cut. Those were your picks, your parody pantheon. And yeah, I know some of your favorites still didn't make the list. Well, that's what the comment section's for. Let me know there what I missed, what I got wrong, what I mispronounced. And if you haven't seen part 1, why don't you click this link? It's got some rubber chickens, some coconuts banging together, and some cinematic chaos that you'll love. Hit that link, go laugh a little, and then you could rage comment responsibly. And so until next time, keep your swords rubber, your scripts ridiculous, and keep it weird, folks.